Are you still struggling with your dog even after trying all of the right tips? You're not doing it wrong. You've just been fed the wrong advice. Welcome to Straight Up Dog Talk, the podcast helping burned out pet parents who feel stuck with their pup finally let go of the guilt, learn to communicate, and build the bond you've always dreamed of through a partnership based approach that combines training, nutrition, and enrichment instead of chasing the quick fixes that don't actually work. I'm Em, and in this episode, you'll learn the truth behind 10 common dog training myths that keep well-meaning pet parents stuck, overwhelmed, or ashamed. Why some of the most popular advice online is actually hurting your progress, and how to reframe these myths into confidence, building truths that help you and your dog move forward. Because it's not your fault if you've been misled, and you're not alone if you're ready to do things differently. Today, I want to walk you through 10 of the most common dog training myths I see holding people back that left me second guessing everything early on. If you've been following the rules and still feel stuck, this is your permission to rethink the rule book. Number 1, you just need to be the alpha. This myth sounds good because people want leadership and clarity, but it's harmful because it implies that your dog is out to dominate you, not communicate with you. When Fitz started reacting to everything, I had people telling me, show him who's the boss. But I wasn't dealing with a power struggle. I was dealing with fear, overstimulation, and unmet needs. The moment I stopped trying to dominate him and started trying to understand him, everything changed. So what you actually need is structure, communication, and clarity, not power trips. Number 2, all dogs need daily walks. This sounds good because exercise is important, right? But it's harmful because walks aren't the only or even the best way to meet your dog's needs, especially if your dog finds them stressful. I used to drag Fitz on walks thinking it was my responsibility. Every time we both came home, even more stressed out. The turning point came when I realized enrichment, indoor play, and structured games calmed him more than any leash walk ever could. To meet your dog's needs in a way that they enjoy, not just what social media says is normal, is the only thing that you actually need to do for your dog. Number 3, ignore bad behavior and it will go away. Of course, this sounds good because it's simple and sounds science-based, right? But it's harmful because ignoring communication, especially distress, doesn't build trust. It breaks it. When Toby was younger, he would growl and snap at guests. Someone told me to ignore it and not reinforce it. But that growl was his way of asking for space, and ignoring it escalated his fear. Now I thank him for that growl. It's information, not misbehavior. And he only growls at people that make him feel unsafe. For the most part, he's happy to be friends with anyone. And that is why it is such an important warning sign. So all you actually need to do is acknowledge the behavior, understand the need or the message underneath it, and respond with clarity and safety. Number 4, let them cry it out. They'll get over it. This sounds good because it's fast and we assume dogs are resilient, but it's harmful because it creates panic, not confidence. I'll never forget the time I left Fitz in a new crate for the first time and tried to wait him out. He tried to chew out the bars, he howled, and he was soaking in drool when I finally came back in the room. He didn't get over it. He lost trust. Now we build things slowly with him. All you actually need to do is create a plan that builds comfort, trust, and confidence without panic or pressure. Number 5, training should fix your dog. This sounds good because we want solutions, and that sounds like a solution. However, this is harmful because it assumes that your dog is broken and that you're failing if they're not perfect. I used to treat training like a fix-it list. Sit, check. Stay, check. Come, check. But no amount of obedience changed Fitz's emotional needs. What he needed was a relationship, not a checklist. And what you actually need is a partnership, not perfection. Behavior change is about support, not control. Number 6, they're just being stubborn. This sounds good because it's easier to label our dogs with something we understand than investigate to understand them. It's super harmful because it makes us resentful of our dogs because we put a human label on them instead of being curious about why they're feeling the way and acting the way that they are. One of my clients was convinced her dog was being defiant for not coming when called. Turns out he was afraid of slippery floors near the back door. Once we added some mats and some rugs, he came running, not stubborn, just scared. All you actually need to get through these moments is curiosity and compassion, not blame. Number 7, don't use food they should work for praise. This sounds good because it's rooted in outdated ideas of loyalty. It's harmful because it ignores science, motivation, and the joy of working with your dog. I was told early on that using food was bribery. But the moment I started using high-value treats with Fitz, his reactivity started improving because now he had a reason to stay engaged. Food builds trust, not dependence. Do whatever motivates your dog. Food is communication, not a crutch. Number 8, socialize them with everyone and everything. This sounds good and accurate because exposure equals confidence, right? It's harmful because forced exposure without safety creates trauma and not resilience. I used to think dog parks would socialize Fitz. Instead, he got overwhelmed, reactive, and completely shut down. Now I know socialization isn't about quantity, it's about quality, safety, and control. All you need to do to socialize your dog is use slow, controlled, safe exposures that build trust, not overwhelm them. Don't dive into the deep end when we're just learning how to float. Number 9, never let them win. This sounds good because it keeps you in charge. Goes right back to that dominance theory. But it's harmful because it turns training into a battle, not a conversation. One time, Fitz tugged a toy out of my hand, and someone told me I lost. But guess what? He was beaming with confidence. I learned that letting him win sometimes encourages him to engage, not to test me. Make sure that you play and have shared success and mutual wins, not power struggles with your dog. And last but not least, don't comfort a scared dog. You will reinforce the fear. This sounds good because it's been said for years, even by some professionals. But it's harmful because fear isn't a behavior to fix. It is an emotion to support. During storms, Toby shakes under the covers. One day, I started crawling in there with him and just laid there with him snuggling. Over time, he started coming directly to me when he was scared instead of hiding. You can't reinforce fear, but you can soothe it. Make sure that your dog learns that you are the safe place so that they run to you instead of away from you, thereby making the conversation mutual and helping your dog understand that soothing is on the way. Here's your Real Talk challenge for this week. Pick one myth that you've believed and rewrite the story. Say it out loud. My dog isn't stubborn. He's communicating something I haven't seen yet. Training isn't failing. It's evolving. I don't have to earn love through perfection. Let this be the week you shift the story and start building something better. So remember, be kind, spread joy, and stop letting myths steal your momentum and joy. Thank you for listening to Straight Up Dog Talk and for showing up for your dog today. If you've been trying to figure things out on your own and nothing seems to work, it's exhausting to keep guessing and wondering if you're failing your dog. That's why I offer a free 15-minute call so you can walk away with clear next steps for training, nutrition, or enrichment that actually fit you and your dog. The link is in the show notes. New episodes drop every Monday and Wednesday. I'll see you next time.